A massive move in the silver market, in the silver price. Are you ready for it? Because we could be right now on the very cusp of major moves in the silver market. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being part of Ron's Basement. Please subscribe to the channel. Give the video a thumbs up. In this video, we are going to cover why we are right on the cusp right now of a massive, massive, big move. Get ready. Buckle up, Buttercup, in the silver market. Are you ready to become a zillionaire? Yes, a zillionaire, a silver millionaire. Look, we don't buy silver to get rich, although that wouldn't hurt, right? We won't complain. However, big things are happening in the silver market, and we need to talk about a company that I think could be trying to corner the precious metals market in the United States. But let's go out to the chart first and talk about why, guys, we can be so excited right now about what's going on in silver. You know what? Let's run out to channel sponsor Pimbex. Press the magic button. If you want to do this for yourself, you can go to their website, that little gold triangle. And okay, silver, almost $32 per ounce. We'll come back to Pimbex here in a minute, but let's go to the charts right now. Wow. Okay, what I have pulled up for you is a chart going back to May for the silver price. This is so critical. Guys, we are in the trenches right now, and silver, as of late, is winning. Silver has the momentum. As you notice on this chart, back on May 19th, we hit $32 silver in the futures market. On May 28th, we hit $32.20 in the futures market. On September 23rd, we hit $32. On October 2nd, we hit $32. That is 4 attempts to break through $32. Let's get our crayons out here for 1 second. It is going to be increasingly difficult for the COMEX in the LBMA to keep the silver price under $32. Do you see this, guys? What do we call that? A centicle? I don't know, a 5 times top? We've tried to break through 4 times. We're now at our 5th attempt. I think it's like statistically almost impossible that we don't break through, but you and I both know the COMEX and the LBMA are very good at manipulating the price of silver downward and creating these statistical anomalies for us. So we're going to keep our eyes peeled. What we're looking to see is this, right? That big breakout in the silver price. Now, we know also, if we look back just to August, I mean, we have a strong uptrend in the silver price. So, guys, we are there. We are there, baby. We are there again. We are knocking on the door of $34 per ounce silver, $44 per ounce silver. And one of you basement dwellers sent me a message or left about, Ron, are you still calling? Yes, I am still sticking by my word that on Christmas Eve, we're going to be down here Christmas Day celebrating $44 silver. I believe it. I know it becomes less and less likely the closer we get, but this could be it. This could be the breakout stage, guys. Next week, we have the big BRICS meeting. There is so much going on. Let's run over to China just to see what's happening in the Chinese market with the silver price. We'll go check out our friend Oriental Ghost. There he is. Okay. Oh, he's got something about the BRICS. We'll come back and read that in a second. But let's just check to make sure. On the Shanghai Gold Exchange last night, silver. All right, there's AG. That's the what do you call that? Periodic element abbreviation for silver. On the Shanghai Gold Exchange, we closed at 33.60. So not as big of a premium in China as we had seen over the last few months, but still. And this is a physical market. The physical price for silver in China is higher. And the big thing to remember here, why this is so important to keep an eye on this, is that, like I said, this is a physical market. The COMEX in America and the LBMA in London, England, those are paper markets. Those are leveraged 100 to 1, 200 to 1. Some people say 400 to 1, paper to physical. So when we look at the Shanghai Gold Exchange over there, the inverse is true. You need to have the physical metal to be able to trade on the Shanghai Gold Exchange. And the physical price in China right now sits at $33.60. Gold, 26.35. So it actually looks like a bit of a discount on gold. That's very interesting. Let's go and see what he has to say about the BRICS. BRICS Summit. This is 6 days away. Here's who just quickly, here's who will be attending the most important geopolitical event of the year. Chinese President Xi Jinping, Belarus President, Turkish President, South African, Brazilian, and this is the one that really got me, the Iranian president. Iran is like our biggest enemy in the world. The president of Iran will be there. The president of the United Arab Emirates will be there. The Egyptian president will be there. Bolivia's president will be there. Mongolia, Palestine's president will be there. The Saudis are not sending their president, they're sending their foreign minister. So this will be the big news of next week. Absolutely. What goes on at the BRICS summit? The world could potentially be shook. The precious metals world could potentially be shook. The reason why, right, the examples that we can see out there that are telling us this is they are explicitly wanting to de-dollarize, move away from the dollar. And this is where it gets interesting, why it's so important for us to watch what goes on, because if they're not going to use the dollar, guess what? The reason that's so important is they're not really going to want to use each other's currencies either. If they don't trust the dollar, but they trust each other's currencies even less. What do you think who are they going to call? Hey, it's October. Who are you going to call? Ghostbusters? No, they're going to call gold. They're going to call silver. They're going to call oil. They are going to revert to God's money, Earth's money, however, whatever you want to believe, right? The natural money of the world. Those countries, they don't want the dollar. See, huh? Here we go. Hold on. Time for its daily appearance. Bye-bye, dollar. Right? No, but they're not going to want, the Saudis don't want Chinese yuan, right? The Russians don't want whatever. They are going to want gold. And that's why they're setting up these major trading hubs for precious metals as well. We haven't talked about the Moscow World Stand. I mean, guys, things are changing. It is going to be this next week could present some earth-shattering news. We're going to have to cover it here. Because guess what? Okay. CNN, the Children's News Network, they aren't going to cover it. I mean, it's just, think about this. The reason why this is so important, it's a huge story if CNN's not covering it. Or the other big major networks. None of them are going to be covering it. I don't think Fox News will be covering it. No. So we know it's a major story. We know that we need to pay attention to it. And that we will do. I'll keep you posted as things. I mean, some people speculate that we could hear about a new gold standard, a new gold-backed currency coming out of these BRICS meetings. I emphasize that that's speculation. I hope I'm proved wrong. But nonetheless, it's a critical, like I said, it's a critical supportive factor for the silver price, for the gold price, because they don't want dollars, but they don't want each other's currencies either. I think I've repeated that now 3 times. I apologize. Now you know why. It's hard being married. Susie sometimes likes to refer to me as Ron the Repeater. So Ron the Repeater. There you go. Okay, is there one company that's trying to corner the silver and gold market in the United States, the retail market in the United States? Because yesterday we got some stunning news. There's a company out there called A-Mark, which you probably have never heard of, but you've heard of all the companies that they own. This is a big Wall Street company, and I think they could be attempting, it feels like to me, like, wait till you see this, like they're attempting to do kind of a takeover of the retail bullion market. Sorry for all the pop-up ads here, but Silvertown Mint, who you may or may not have heard of, but you've anyway, they are acquiring the assets of Regency Mint Manufacturing. Okay, now this is the company that owns everybody that you've never heard of. A-Mark Precious Metals. They're a publicly traded company on the NASDAQ. They announced that their subsidiary So A-Mark's like the parent company, and they own all these subsidiaries. And I'm telling you, I think they're trying to corner the silver and gold market, the retail market. Their subsidiary, Silvertown Mint, has acquired substantially all assets of Regency Mint Manufacturing. This strategic acquisition is expected to increase A-Mark, remember that's the mothership here, total minting capacity to 100 million ounces annually. Why is that important? Well, because the whole world only produces 800 million ounces of silver total from mining activities in a given year. And this company is going to mint 100 million of them. And think about this. That has to be almost, feels like that would be almost everything, because of that 800 million ounces of silver that's produced every year, we know a lion's share of it goes to industry. We know a lot of it goes into the big giant bars on the COMEX and the LBMA. Does it feel like we got one big giant mothership corporate company that's taking over kind of the retail investment minting of silver in this country? I know that Keith Neumeyer opened a mint, first mint, I think it's called, in Nevada, to mint silver products. But who's left? Okay. It says they'll have additional capacity for proof quality coins and breakable rounds, new extrusion equipment for faster, more efficient production, increase in silver amounts struck products from 30 million to over 50 million, it says there. Now, let's go take a look at this company. Who are they? A-Mark Precious Metals. They're traded on the NASDAQ. This is shocking, guys, when you read about what they own. It feels like they're trying to take over. They do wholesale activity. They do all kinds of stuff. But here, direct to consumer, that would be you and me. That would be the retail silver investment. Their segment provides access to a multitude of products through its wholly owned. So A-Mark owns JM Bullion and Goldline and this other company now called LPM. JM Bullion is a leading, everybody's heard of JM Bullion, e-commerce, and no offense, JM Bullion, but your prices are always, in my opinion, very high. But nonetheless, JM Bullion is a leading e-commerce retailer in precious metals. They own and operate numerous other websites. So you got the mothership, A-Mark, then you have JM Bullion, owned by the mothership, but then JM Bullion owns other websites as well, targeting specific niches within the precious metals retail market, including jmbullion.com, Provident Metals, silver.com, cybermetals.com, goldprice.org, silverprice.org, buy gold and silver, bgasc.com, bullionmax.com, and gold.com. Look at that, guys. All those sites are all owned by JM Bullion, who's owned by A-Mark, who also owns Silvertown Minting, that's going to be able to mint 100. Does it feel like there's one company, right? That's like almost, I don't want to use the M word, monopoly. Goldline markets precious metals directly to investor. That's Goldline. This is a separate company. Directly to the investor community through various channels, including television, right? All those celebrity endorsed, whatever, radio, and telephone sales. There was one more thing, minting. Here, this is their minting operation. The A-Mark's mint operations, which are conducted through its wholly owned ISO 9000 certified subsidiary, Silvertown Mint, enables the company to offer customers a wide range of proprietary coin and bar offerings, and during periods of market volatility when the availability of silver bullion from sovereign mints is often product constrained, preferred product access. No, it feels like to me what we're dealing with here is a company that's potentially taking over the entire retail silver and gold sector. Now, one company they're not taking over is channel sponsor Pembex. Let's go back out and do an update on the silver and gold price. Let's see if we can get it. Let's see if we can get it above $32 per ounce. $31.98. We're not going to give up. We'll keep pressing that Pembex magic button, but Pembex is a privately owned company. I know the brothers that own it. I think the world of them. I feel great about having Pembex as a sponsor because of you. Yes, the basement dweller community. Okay. hold on here. The feedback that I've received from you has been overwhelmingly positive, right? I'm one of you, right? I learned about this company through you over a year ago. Everybody kept saying, check out Pimbex, check out Pimbex. What I found and what I still find today is that their prices are ultra competitive. They always have a selection of what I need. Okay. And first and foremost, they're a company that I can trust. I've had 5 or 6 or 7 purchases I've made from them over the last 14 or 15 months. Everything has gone off perfectly without a hitch. And I'm always getting more metal for my money, right? Depending on how much I buy, sometimes I figure I get like an extra 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 ounces as compared to if I'd purchased from one of those big corporate owned other online bullion dealers. So do yourself a favor, check out Pimbex next time that you are in the market for gold or silver. And just remember, the basement's possible. Our community, our club is made possible due to the generous support of our sponsoring companies like Pimbex. There it is right there. I haven't done that for a while. Pimbex, Pimbex. They really do check, wrong way. Check all the boxes. Oh man, there is so much happening right now. Let's see here. Okay, let's talk about, could you buy a house for 25 ounces of silver? 25. You want to buy a house? 25 ounces. Here, I think, is this? I don't know what this is. I think this is 25 ounces. This is a tube of what do you call those things? Krugerrands, right? Here, I'll get it out for you. Imagine, these things are hard to open. Hold on. Imagine being able to buy a house for that much silver. There it is. Nope, these aren't Krugerrands. What the heck are these? Oh, these are something from Australia. Well, anyway, let's get them out. There we are. Oh, I don't know what these are. 2-ounce coins. These are beautiful. Look at this. Okay. Here, 20 ounces of silver. Isn't that pretty, guys? Look at that. Isn't that pretty? And then I like 2-ounce coins because they're so thick. But look at the back. I remember Coin Shop Chris had me buy these. Okay, anyway. This is a bad example, but that's 20 ounces of silver. You want to buy a house for 20 ounces of silver? How about 25? Maybe this guy's wrong, but I saw this last night, and let's pull it up and take a look at how they calculated this. This came from Reddit, Wall Street Silver, our friends at Wall Street Silver. AI estimates this is if we revaluation of gold and silver in case of shifting from fiat, unicorn fart dust, monetary system to sound money system. Okay. And let me see here. I'm going to make sure we got you up, which we do. Okay. To calculate the price of gold and silver needed to replace. So they're going to see if we were going to replace the entire fiat money system with the total estimated, which is the total estimated global wealth of $1,300 trillion. We will use a silver gold ratio of 8-to-1 and will determine the required prices for both metals and how many ounces would be needed to purchase an average house, a $300,000 house. So we're going to back all the world's wealth with gold and silver, and then we're going to determine how many ounces of silver it takes to buy a house. So total, this is very broad, simplistic, but it's a very interesting demonstration of how valuable silver and gold really are. So total global wealth, 1.3 quadrillion. Total silver supply, they're estimating that at 55 billion ounces. I think that includes all the silver in the world, including what's in the ground. Total gold supply, 6.35 billion ounces, and a silver gold ratio of 8-to-1. Then they go through all this. Look at this math. Woof. I got to about algebra and geometry and loved it. And then when you start getting to all this crazy stuff, so we're just going to believe what they're saying. Here's the summary of findings. If you wanted to back the world's money with silver and gold, we would need a silver price of $12,227. A required gold price of $97,000, almost $98,000. This is where it gets interesting. The ounces then required to buy a house. You would need right under 25 ounces of silver. If you backed all the world's wealth with silver and gold, you would only need 25 ounces of silver. We know during the Weimar Republic and the Weimar currency crisis in Germany before World War II, that people were buying like nice apartments and buildings for like, I think it was 100 ounces of silver. Nonetheless, we would need 25 ounces of silver. Gold, you would only need 3 ounces, right? 3.06 to get that $300,000 house. Conclusion. In this scenario, with both silver and gold functioning as money and using a silver to gold ratio of 8-to-1, a house would cost approximately 25 ounces of silver or 3 ounces of gold at the respective prices derived from the total global wealth, 1.3 quadrillion. This illustrates how both metals would need to be valued significantly higher to replace the fiat currency effectively. Again, that's a fun example to look at about the power of silver and gold. But really, right, if you think about it, throughout history, hasn't there been a few times when silver and gold were the base of all the world's wealth and money? Just saying. Now, we have experienced something very interesting within the silver and gold markets over the last 11 days. Something that, again, absolutely demonstrates that we are in a new paradigm, a new world, a new weather pattern. Guys, I know it can be hard. I understand. We've been through some rough times together as silver and gold investors. But right now, we got to accept something. Sometimes it's hard to accept things, and we have to accept that we are now in a good environment, a happy time to be a silver and gold investor. And what the dollar has been doing, the US dollar, and how the silver and gold price have been reacting is a critical demonstration as to the fact that we are in this new environment, that we are in a new weather pattern, okay? Because the dollar has gone up for 11 straight days in value. The DXY index, the prettiest turd in the toilet, sorry, I had to say it once, has gone up for 11 straight days. And that in the past would have meant boo for the gold and silver price. And that's not what's happening. Let's run out here and take a look at the DXY. We're going to look at let's look at a 5-day chart first. Okay, as you can clearly see on this chart, and that black box keeps getting in the way, the dollar has been going up over the last 5 days. If we zoom out to a month, we can see that it really started on September 27th. And what are we on, the 16th? So, yeah, it's been, and I counted like 11 straight days. Do you see how the dollar index has gone up and up and up? It was at 100, basically. Now it's up 3%. In 11 days. That's a huge move in the world of currencies. In the silver and gold price, I mean, should be down, I would say 5 to 6 to 7% easily. What would be really gold should be down $100 based on that move if things had remained the same. This fact that the gold and silver price have demonstrated strength and have decoupled from this DXY index, which is all a bunch of BS. The DXY index, the strong dollar that you hear so much about, is essentially just a comparison of the euro, the yen, and the US dollar. Compares those currencies to one another. It really is like saying which is the best horse in the glue factory, or however you want to say it. The best used car on the cruddiest, cheapest, slimiest used car lot that you can find in the world. So the fact that the gold price and the silver price have continued to be strong in the face of a strong dollar is a very, very positive sign, right, for the strength and the vitality of this rally that we've had in the precious metals markets. $4,800 gold. $4,800 gold. A prediction from one of the most respected and smartest precious metals analysts in the world. Let's dig into this right now. We're going to look at a couple charts that he put up, and then we'll zip right to his conclusion. But this came from Gold Switzerland, Ronnie Stoufferle. He writes this book, every year publishes, what is it, In Gold We Trust, massive, like 500-page book. This guy is the bomb when it comes to gold and silver, precious metals. He's based out of Switzerland, or Gold Switzerland is. He may be German, and we know the Germans love gold and silver, but let's talk about his $4,800 gold prediction. But first, gold, he looks at gold on a nominal basis and gold and a CPI adjusted basis. Guys, look, nominal gold is the yellow line, right? We've seen since 1970, move up, move up, move up. The gold price on a CPI adjusted level has also moved up and is now, what's interesting here, whereas gold on a nominal, which nominal just means the number, okay, whatever the number is. We know that it broke out of this cup and handle formation. On a CPI adjusted basis, if you go back to 1980, if you adjust that price for inflation, can you see the blue line there? Here, let me draw on here quickly. The blue line is inflation adjusted gold. You see this cup? And now we have a handle. And there's the, whatever you call that, that's horrible. Hold on here. Well, that's supposed to be a straight line. Okay. We could be ready on a CPI adjusted basis, which would add even more power to this rally to break out to the upside. Now, let's go down and look at another chart. And then we're going to talk about 4,800. I think this is so critical to look at. This is gold in US dollars, and it compares to the federal fund, to the Fed's interest rate cuts. Okay. So the dark line is the Fed's funds rate, the Federal Reserve, whatever, interest rate. As you can see, the last time when they started cutting in the year 2000, remember, they cut rates. Gold went up 31%. That's that green area. The yellow line is the gold price. The dark line is the Fed's interest rate. Again, in 2008, the great financial crisis, they started cutting. During that period, gold price went up by 40%. Just to give you an idea, from $2,500 gold, a 40% increase from where we are right now, and the Fed just started cutting rates, a 40% increase would be $1,000 rise from where we are, from, let's say, $2,500 gold. That would mean a move to $3,500 gold. It happened here. Okay. The last time we had it was during the health crisis in 2020. The Fed started cutting rates. Boom. Remember, that was a rapid cut. The price of gold went up 26%. Even if we had just a 26% increase in the price of gold from $2,500 gold, that is that's like a 650. That's like gold going to $3,200, $3,300 for gold. Let's go down to the next chart. This just shows global central bank gold purchases in tons. I mean, look at this over here. Okay, this is post Ukraine invasion. I mean, look at how much more gold is being purchased. But let's get to what I promised you, the $4,800 comment from Ronnie. We love Ronnie. He's always welcome here in the basement. He says, after all, at the beginning of 2024, gold successfully broke out of a cup and handle formation that had been forming since 2011. We saw that on that chart earlier. With a gold price just over $2,600 at the end of September, the gold price has reached the year-end forecast for our incrementum gold price forecast model for 2024. So gold has reached what they predicted. They were accurate. They predicted that, and it worked out. We presented this model for the first time in Gold We Trust report. Again, guys, that's this massive book that they publish every year in 2020. So 4 years ago, they made that prediction. So we want to listen to this guy and have since updated it in every subsequent In Gold We Trust report. Now, this is where it gets interesting. Given the further deterioration in economic and geopolitical condition, the model's price target of just over 4,800 US dollars by the end of 2030 will be considered a conservative projection. $4,800 gold by the end of 2030. Guys, that's only 5 years from now, number one. Number two, he's saying that's a conservative projection. And these are conservative. These are Swiss, European, very analytical, very conservative people, and very accurate. $4,800 for gold by 2030. But it could be much higher is basically what he's saying. That's a conservative projection. Against this background, even gold, which became significantly more expensive last year, is still cheap. Okay, you can watch. There's interviews with Ronnie Stoferle all over the internet. He's the guru. He's the bomb. Thank you, Ronnie, for that excellent piece of literary work. And you can read that whole article. This guy knows what's going on. Okay, and let's just look at this quickly. Here's another way to look at this. Came from our friend Mark, Basement Dweller. Thank you, Mark. I always read all the comments, all the emails. Mark S. This shows the amount. Okay, this is interesting. Since 2013, foreign official purchases of United States treasuries. That's the orange line. Okay, cumulative. Since the People's Bank of China said in 2013, no longer in China's interest to grow their foreign exchange reserves, no longer in their interest to buy dollars, basically. So since 2013, the orange line shows U.S. Treasuries. You see that going down. The blue line, okay, this is 10 years. That is foreign purchases of, or central bank purchases of gold. Guys, we are in a new world. And it's getting crazy. Hey, by the way, have you guys ever heard of this thing called DirtyMan Safe? Let me just pull this up really quickly. I'm excited about this. They are sending me, they make 3 sizes. They're sending me one of each, and I'm going to be talking to you guys about it. And they also sent me a discount code for you guys, Ron10, like Ron's Basement, number 10. Hold on here. So I'm curious if you guys, any of you guys own this product or have any experience with it. It's very interesting. It's like a safe that you can bury your gold and silver or whatever floats your boat in the ground. Here, let me pull this up. I put some pictures together. Okay, there it is there. It's like a tube, and then it fits inside that sleeve. And then you dig a hole, and you put the sleeve down into the hole like that. And then you lower this. It's like a capsule, like a very secure capsule that you lower down in there. Then you put that white lid on top of the sleeve, and there's a handle you can see there. And then you bury it all. And then you have buried treasure in your backyard. I don't know. Let me know. I'd be curious if anybody owns this. Send me an email. They're sending me a couple of them, so I'll be showing them to you here once a week or so over the coming months. It's called DirtyMan Safe, and you can get 10% off if you use the code RON10. Okay, let's see here. $4,800 gold. Oh, this is great. Gold and silver are the tether to reality. That lady, Judy, do you know who Judy Shelton is? Judy Shelton was who Donald Trump tried to appoint to the Federal Reserve. Judy Shelton is a believer in the gold standard. She has a new book out, but I heard her say this the other day, and I think it just you know how that happens when somebody says something and you knew it, but it suddenly makes sense again. I'm hoping that every once in a while that happens when you're joining me here in the basement, that I say something, you're like, I call it light bulb moment, when you're like, oh yeah, that makes sense. Judy Shelton said this: gold is the tether to reality. Silver is the tether to reality. Guys, as we're living in this crazy world, everything's fantasy land, fantasy island, unicorn fart dust. We joke around and call the US dollar. Where'd that dollar? it's hard to keep track of these dollars because they just float around. I had a dollar down here somewhere. Oh, there it is. Right? Floats around. Yeah. Gold and silver are the tether to reality. Will you argue that with me? No. Right? Gold and silver are the Earth's money. Gold and silver are God's money. Gold, however you want to say it, they're real. They always have been. They always will be. Okay. Let's talk about what's going on right now in the U.S. economy. Stock market crash. Are you prepared? I think we could have a crash in the market. Some people are saying 50%. Right. The reason why that's important is that can impact the entire economy. That can certainly, a stock market crash, impact the price of silver and gold. Why? Because a lot of people say if the stock market crashes, I think we're in, again, I get so excited about this stuff. Everybody says if the stock market crashes, that the gold and silver price have to crash too, because it happened in 2008 and happened. Okay. Everybody also says, the reason why I'll argue that point, against that point, everybody also says that if the dollar goes up in value, gold and silver have to drop. Well, guess what, Buttercup? We have proof. I showed you earlier. The last 11 days, the dollar has gone up, and gold and silver have maintained this $2,650 per ounce price for silver, or for gold. I'm sorry, silver. $32, $31, and we are on the cusp of a breakout in the silver price. So just because the market crashes doesn't mean all these old relationships are breaking down. So it does not mean that the gold and silver price have to go down, but it could have an impact, and it could have an impact on other investments that you have. This is stunning. I'm going to give you some reasons why we could be in for a stock market crash, right? All these people who are sitting around saying, oh, I have $400,000 in my 401k, might start saying, oh, I only have $200,000 in my 401k. Let's go out first to we got a lot to cover. The greed index, the fear and greed index. We are in big time greed territory. The fear greed index hits 77 points. The highest level since March, and we've entered extreme greed territory. So we are in greedy land when it comes to the stock market right now, and that can oftentimes predict or anticipate a big drawdown in the market. The blue line is the greed index. You can see peak, market drop, peak, market drop, peaked, market dropped, which is the orange line. And here we are peaking again, and look at how high the stock market is. So be prepared for that. Let's go over here. This is interesting. This is from the Kabisi letter. This is like a high-level econ guy. The U.S. average weekly hours worked by Americans is falling to 34.2 in September, the lowest in 14 years outside of 2020. People are working fewer hours as companies reduce working time to avoid layoffs and cut costs. At the same time, the number of full-time jobs has declined for 8 straight months, while part-time jobs have skyrocketed, also impacting labor hours. And here's a chart showing the U.S. average weekly hours worked. As you can see, right, it peaked and it is going. I mean, that is a strong trend. Not a good sign for the U.S. economy. This was probably the most atrocious. This is scary. This is absolutely scary. The number of zombie companies in the U.S. is skyrocketing. 43. I forgot to highlight this. Hold on. What color you want me to make it, guys? Did you say red? It's a red alert, baby. Here we go. 43%. Okay. More than 4 out of 10 of the Russell 2000 companies. Now, the Russell 2000, you've got the S&P 500, you've got the NASDAQ, which is the tech stocks, you got the Dow Jones Industrial Average, which is what the 100 biggest companies, industrial companies. But the Russell 2000 is why the Russell is so important to watch and keep track of, is because the Russell 2000 is a combination. It's an index of the 2,000 like mid to small size companies. the core of the U.S. economy, more so than the S&P 500 or the NASDAQ. These are the companies that are out there doing the work every day. 4 out of 10 of them are unprofitable, the most since the C19 crisis. At the same time, interest expense as a percentage of the total debt of the Russell 2000 firms hit 7%, the highest since 2003. To me, that would indicate they're paying almost 7% interest on the debt they do have. These are zombie companies that can only survive off issuing more debt. They're losing money. They need to borrow money just to keep the companies afloat, and it's 4 out of 10 companies. Here, the share of Russell 2000 companies with negative earnings continues to rise. Look at this trend. Now, you really got to take this part out. I mean, I don't know, guys. It's not looking good. It's not looking good. While at the same time, hold on here. I forgot to pull this one up. Where is it? Darn it. Here we go. Health insurance premiums. This is insane. I had to go to the doctor. Anyway, I've been having some back problems, whatever. I had to get an MRI, go to the doctor. It's such a cluster bomb in this country, our healthcare system. I'm sorry. It just stinks. Going to the doctor, you waste like 2 hours on the phone before you go dealing with the insurance company. I digress. Let's just talk about the economic news again from the Kobisi lever. The average cost of a family's annual health insurance premium is up 7% over the last year, the last 12 months, to $25,572. No joke. It's no wonder we all feel poor. If you have a family like I do, maybe you do, or maybe your kids do, or whoever, and you're not on some government health insurance, who can afford this? I mean, it's ridiculous. This is the second consecutive year with a 7% increase, higher by $3,000 per year in just 2 years. Since the year 2000, the average health insurance premium has quadrupled. Quadrupled. To put this in inflation, the CPI has risen 78%. So inflation has gone up, probably on the official level, by 80%, but the cost of health insurance for crappy, and I mean, am I alone in feeling like this? Like the healthcare in this country is not that good. So since the year 2000, you remember the year 2000, remember? Tonight we're gonna party like it's 1999. Okay, anyway, the year 2000, from then to now, inflation has gone up 80%. I believe that at minimum, right? But the cost of health insurance has quadrupled, and I'm sorry, it's crappy. It's a nightmare. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense, and nobody wants to deal with it. So I got to ring the bell, guys, for all those thumbs up. Hey, thank you to Jake from Jake's Custom Parts for moderating today. Annie Oakley, thank you for your contributions to the channel. Big Tim the Silvershire, thank you for being here. It's going to be crazy. Let's run out and check, though, guys. Wait a minute. Let's go out and check. Let me make sure I didn't get any breaking urgent updates. I may have. Hold on. Nope, just a nice text from my sister telling her she loves me, telling me she loves me. Let's go out and let's do it. All right, take your blood pressure medicine. Let's do an update. Press the Pimbex magic button and okay. Hey, look at that, basement dwellers. Silver 3201. I told you by the end of the live stream, we could get silver over $32 per ounce. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being part of the basement. Okay, you're welcome here. Who doesn't want to be part of a club, right? You're welcome here, right? We hardly ever have to ban anybody from this channel. I mean, like never, basically. And to me, that's a testament to you, right? Look, like I'm talking to you. There is really only one you. You're important. You're a part of this community. Okay, when you're here in the basement, you're a basement dweller. We hang out. There's nice people here. Some point, maybe, you know what I'm thinking of, at some point, I don't want to make any promises, I will have a big party get together. And what I want to do is rent the basement of a big church. There's a lot of big Catholic churches in St. Louis, and they rent out their basements for like wedding receptions and things like that. Get a bunch of pizza, have a couple special guests come and give, but the most special guest would be you. And whether or not we ever do that, it's a big deal when you join me here in the basement. So thank you guys. Okay. And I will see you soon. Be good to yourself. You deserve it. Bye-bye.